What's going on, you guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital Analysis, and welcome to the third video of our channel. In this video, we're going to be analyzing a stock called Wonderfi. Now it's a really interesting story. I'm excited to continue to tell you guys about this company. It's in its infancy right now, brand new IPO that IPO'd just recently, so we don't have too much data in terms of how the stock's traded, but we will be going over the market potential, the financials, the opportunity, who's involved in the deal. And it is very important to me. Of course, there are a few things that I will have to say before we get into this video. First and foremost, this video is not financial advice. Like all of the videos that I've ever created are not financial advice. Second off, I do own quite a few shares in the company, so you can check the description down below for full disclosure details along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. This is a sponsored video. So once again, in the description, you'll find all of that information fully disclosed, as I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. But I'm excited to get into this and really go a little bit more in depth, above and beyond just, the overviews that I do, the interviews that I do. I do have a really interesting and exciting interview coming out with Ben, the CEO of Wonderfi, along with Sean Clark, who co-founded and was the CEO at one point of Hut 8 Mining. So if you guys are interested in crypto, I'm sure you know the name. Hut 8 right now is over $1.5 billion market cap. I think it's $1.6 billion. But anyways, this video is all about Wonderfi. So let's get into it. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you do support the channel and all the videos that I make, it means the world to me, and it helps my videos so very much in the algorithm, along with hitting that subscribe button and the bell for notifications on future videos. Let's get this channel to 100 subscribers. That's our first goal, and I hope that we can have many more milestones. We'll see how it goes, guys. But I appreciate all your support. And also drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the company, the sector, all that stuff. The first thing we're going to do is quickly analyze the stock. Now, we don't have all of the data here. Certain sites are better than others. But I do want to talk quickly just about the company, the market cap, so far how it's traded. So current market cap of around $87 million. Now, I'm also going to go to Yahoo Finance because sometimes they have some better information there. So 52-week range of $1.20 to $2.11. That's a little more accurate. If we take a look at the 1 year, like I said, there's not that much data. I know that it traded its first day out of the gate, opened around $1.50, got all the way over $2. It has sank to $1.20. So it has been, pretty volatile. Average volume of almost 500,000 shares. It's traded on the NEO under ticker symbol WNDR. Today's volume was a little bit light, 206,000 shares, but overall I'm going to jump back to investing.com's chart just because I like how they look, and I feel like this stock is finding a bottom somewhere around $1.20 and $1.30. Now, could it fall lower? Of course, but I'm pretty bullish on the stock, and I have been purchasing it over the last little while, especially more aggressively around, $1.20, $1.30. Now, of course, I'm not an expert, and these videos are not financial advice. I'm just saying, what I've been up to personally. So now let's get into, what the company plans to achieve. So a simplified gateway to DeFi. What does that mean? What is decentralized finance? Well, now it's a massive multi-billion-dollar industry. There's centralized finance, like we have, with a traditional bank, and then decentralized finance, where there's no gatekeeper, no barrier to entry. All these different cryptocurrencies, they all play into it. So what Wonderfi is doing, and they're not just doing one thing, but what I'm most excited about when it comes to Wonderfi is their app that they've been developing, which is like a one-stop shop for someone who wants to get into the DeFi market, but doesn't want to have to deal with all these different exchanges and getting a wallet and trying to buy Bitcoin or whatever other cryptocurrency they want to buy. Mass adoption of DeFi for even your average investor who might be interested in, DeFi, buying a crypto, getting a loan, but doesn't want to deal with a bank. So I think that, this industry is still in its infancy, and I'm really excited for it. Another thing that's really interesting about this company is, as we know with traditional finance and dividend stocks and products, it's becoming harder and harder to find a decent yield. And the companies that have higher yields aren't always the best quality companies. So Wonderfi, they have an interesting idea. It's their high interest savings account. I'm just quickly going to read this paragraph, but we're going to dive into more information. We're going to go over the financials. We're really going to take a closer look at this company. So with the Wonderfi high interest savings account, you can earn significantly higher interest rates on your assets than you would with a traditional savings account. Your savings products are backed by compound finance and carry the lowest risk score across interest rate products. in the DeFi investment universe. So with these assets, they're more volatile, and a lot of them are able to generate higher yields. That is one thing that really interests me about the DeFi space, is the yield that can be generated through all of the different protocols. So let's talk about their most recent news. So one piece of news that was really interesting recently was they announced that they plan to acquire an additional $6.8 million Canadian of crypto and DeFi assets. So what that means to me is Wonderfi is essentially a startup in the crypto DeFi space, building their platform, but they're also a play on crypto and DeFi assets themselves. So on the balance sheet, they are going to hold, things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, things. If you were to own Wonderfi, you would essentially be owning, or you would be able to achieve exposure to cryptocurrencies, which even nowadays people still don't know exactly how to do or might be afraid to do. This company offers diversity. So that was another thing that I liked about it. And they're using stable coins for treasury management. A stable coin is usually pinned to a fiat currency like the US dollar. That makes sense to me. And then in their most recent press release, they announced that they are deploying Ethereum validator nodes. So nodes, that's not my expertise, that's not my specialty, but I will read a quick word from their CTO, and I did have the chance to ask Ben this in our most recent interview that will be coming out on Departures Capital probably next week or late this week, so stay tuned for that. But quick words: validator nodes play a crucial role in securing the networks that power DeFi while providing yield on the staked assets. So it's a way of generating yield, which, once again, I said I'm very interested in. So currently staking Ethereum through a validator node yields approximately 6% APY on the staked asset. So that's, a lot of people would take 6% all day. So that's the cool thing about this company. They're able to generate revenues as they grow. They're not just your traditional startup that doesn't generate revenues until it launches and needs to consistently rely on more and more and more financing as they burn through more and more money, because we've seen that happen so many times. So now I'm going to dive into their investor presentation. We're not going to read it word for word, but I am going to go over the key points, what catches my eye, and the important things that I think are, the things that I care the most about. Don't worry, guys, we're going to get to the financials. So once again, it's traded on the OTC under ticker symbol WONDF and the NEO WNDR. Hopefully one day, on the NASDAQ. I would love to be able to cover that just like we did with MindMed. So Wonderfi's mission is to create better access to decentralized finance. So the execution of their mission starts with their app, which enables users with little or no crypto experience to learn about and access DeFi. So size of the DeFi ecosystem, how big is, what's the market we're talking here? So 53 billion US dollars. Total Ethereum addresses, 161 million. So this is what I was saying. I like their strategy, and it's a three-pronged approach. First is building their app, invest. They just announced that $6.8 million Canadian going into crypto and DeFi assets, and then also acquiring companies. Now, that is something that I would want to watch closely and will watch closely, because we know that in certain industries, acquisitions can be really good or really bad. Non-organic growth strategy to support growth and expansion of the DeFi sector. So acquisitions do make sense, as long as the company stands to really benefit from it. So an estimated 1.7 billion people are unbanked. 53.6% of the world's population holds just 1.4% of global wealth. So there we go, guys. Total value locked in DeFi in US dollars in the billions. This is as of August 14th. So around, I want to say 70 to 80 million. I could be wrong, but there's been a little bit of volatility in the market. But we're in the tens of billions already. Mass adoption of institutions and some really big names here. I think we're at a point where most big companies have realized that, it's not just going to come and go. This is something that's probably going to stay. Visa, PayPal, Amazon, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, Bloomberg, Forbes, Bank of America. So the global financial services market is $22.5 trillion. Peak DeFi market size in 2021 was 128 billion US dollars. So we did hit the hundreds of billions. Now I'm quickly just going to talk about their platform. So unified point of access, optimized pricing, liquidity and yield, insights from relevant data analysis and research. So there's a screenshot of their app. I'm excited to, get to play around with the app. Who knows, I might even use the app myself since I'm an investor. And it's really cool to see wallets integrated. We've got Coinbase, and then all of their DeFi protocols. Some more cool features. Their high interest savings account, I think that's really interesting. Their baskets like indexes, swap, and earn. It is traded on the Neo, so there's been a lot of success stories come out of Neo. My first success story coming out of the Neo was, of course, MindMed. When it comes to acquisitions, sometimes acquisitions get a bad rap, but I think in this space it makes sense as long as they take a smart approach to doing acquisitions. But what I think is the most important, or one of the most important things with any successful company, but Wonderfi especially, is their team. So many experienced people. I've had the pleasure of getting to know Ben, and I look forward to, building this relationship. Let's talk a little bit about Ben. Ben was formerly an executive officer of First Coin Capital, a cryptocurrency startup acquired by Galaxy Digital, and served on the Galaxy Digital leadership team. Serves as an advisor to the BCSC on FinTech Advisory Forum and to FinTrack on virtual currencies. Another key member, Sean Clark, which we did get to interview, and I'm excited to drop that as well for you guys. Co-founded First Block Capital. He also co-founded and was the CEO of Hut 8 Mining. And then, of course, the strategic investors, two notably Kevin Oleary, tremendous success already with MindMed, and then Josh Richards, who has an insane following. Hopefully we'll get to interview Josh Richards as well. We already got to interview Kevin Oleary, which was awesome. And then backing by Animal Capital, Big Digital, Oleary Ventures, Alameda Research, and Argo Blockchain. Now, one of the last and very important things I wanted to talk about was, in fact, the share structure and the insider ownership, because this is becoming more and more important to me. So how much money have they raised since inception? $28.3 million Canadian. You can see all the rounds here, but strategic and insiders and strategic investors own almost 37% of the company. That's 22.68 million shares. Non-insiders, 59%. So retail investors, whoever the non-insider. And then options and warrants account for under 5%. So fully diluted, 61 million shares outstanding. A very small strategic round at 200,000, only 13 cents per share. Then a much larger $4.8 million round at a quarter or 25 cents. And then the pre-public, both pre-public rounds at $1 and $1.05 accounted for the majority of the company. So if we really think about that, I mean, there's over $20 million at $1 or just above $1. So the stock's currently trading for $1.36. So at least, in my opinion, at least when it comes to insiders, it makes me feel confident because, yeah, okay, the $4.8 million 25-cent round, they've already 5x'd their money. But the majority of the capital that's been invested hasn't really seen too much of a return, at least, for the pre-public money that's came in. So a company like this in a high growth sector like this, I'd be looking, if I invested that kind of money, I'd be looking for like a 5 to 10x. Like that would be amazing. That's what happened with MindMed. So it is nice to know and take a look at the capital structure, and I'm happy that they are transparent about that. Now I want to talk quickly about their financials. So you can find them. This is their Q2 financials. Once again, the company hasn't been public for very long, so we don't have too much data, but this is January 30th to June 30th, 2021. That's the latest financials I could get right there on their website. But I wanted to note that current assets, cash, 8.1 million, funds held in trust, 17 million, 25.5 million in current assets, which are, cash or assets that could be easily converted into cash, highly liquid, and then non-current assets of just over $1 million. So total assets of 26.8 million. Liabilities, very little current liabilities, not even $1 million in current liabilities. And then that's it. So very little debt, lots of cash and current assets. And the company has a market cap of like $80 to $90 million, depending on the intraday volatility. So by the looks of it, what I'm going over, the company seems to be in a pretty solid financial position. So now I just want to talk quickly about social sentiment and my thoughts on the sector, and then that will be it for the video. Obviously, Wonderfi hasn't been in the news that much, but we did see a bit of a spike, obviously right around their IPO date. So a little bit of action in January, but the majority of the interest is in Canada. Now, I feel like the two strategic investors, Kevin Oleary and Josh Richards, both of them, their following is the majority of their following is in the US. So as the company continues to grow and become more popular, hopefully the stock starts to perform. there's gonna be pent-up demand for US investors, especially, you know, if they get an OTC QB listing and then eventually a NASDAQ listing. I think we're in the really early stages here, similar to the MindMed scenario. And the company eventually, hopefully the company will be able to leverage, you know, a tremendous following of their strategic investors. Once again, the keywords: WNDR stock, Wonderfi, and Wonderfi stock. Very similar chart, very similar, you know, interest, but majority in Canada. So the fact that many American investors haven't really found out about this, you know, I think that it's exciting. We're in our very early stages here. So yeah, guys, my opinion now, quickly, before we wrap up this video, why I chose to invest into it. I mean, obviously, MindMed's not at its highs anymore, but the stock was trading 50 cents around its IPO. It got all the way down to 29 cents, I believe it was. Now it's trading for $2-3. So in itself, that's still a success story if you got in relatively early. I think it's a very similar situation for Wonderfi, except for this company should be able to deliver results and launch the app and give us progress and generate returns much faster than the psychedelic sector, because that takes, you know, a long time, FDA approvals. But of course, you know, there's tremendous opportunity still there for value creation. I like that, you know, hopefully they're close to launching their app. Once they launch that app, it's going to be interesting to get an update on how many users sign up, how that's going. And then as this DeFi sector becomes more mainstream, more people become interested in it, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. So that's my deeper analysis. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see how it goes. Of course, nothing's guaranteed. You could have the best team, the best strategic investors, and there's always risk in investing. So please always remember that. Don't take these videos as financial advice. And that's it. We're out of here, guys. Drop me some comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. And we'll see you guys in our next video. If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.